Bellerose Long Island Railroad Station is not accessible to commuters with disabilities.
I think it really needs to have some sort of elevator or some way for wheelchairs to get up here, because I have two friends with disabilities and they can't use this train station.
But this station is not alone. It's one of 14 stations that are not accessible to people with disabilities. The Locust Manor Station in Jamaica, Queens is another station that lacks accessibility for disabled riders.
We have many seniors here in our development in Rossville Village who definitely don't take the Long Island Railroad because they can't get up the stairs.
Chandler got in contact with an MTA representative, but isn't happy with the response.
Because of the lack of funding, the budget, then that we didn't have enough ridership at the Locust Manor Station, that we could not have an escalator/elevator.
22 years after passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, a lot of people think that accessibility is a legal requirement. It's not.
If there are other ways of a potential passenger on the Long Island Railroad of gaining access to public transportation in general, or to a different station in a reasonable amount of physical distance, the Long Island Railroad may very well be in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act.
And the MTA has no concrete plans to make the 14 inaccessible stations more accessible.
That is not the kind of requirement that is likely to come in a financially strapped time like we're living in at the moment.
Even though the MTA is not required to make every Long Island Railroad station accessible to people with disabilities, the MTA still considers safety its highest priority, but some commuters don't feel safe.
When going over a gap of that size, which may seem small to the able-bodied person, but to somebody with, mobility issues might as well be a mile wide.
Chris commutes from a station that is equipped to handle people with disabilities by MTA standards, but it can still be a life or death adventure.
When you refuse to give up seats like that, you are essentially asking me to put my body through something that it is not equipped to handle.
Chris needs to prepare at least 30 minutes earlier than an able-bodied person to catch a train.
That in itself can be a task, because there aren't always people looking to see if people need help.
Disabled commuters are more likely to find help at the last or first station of each branch. Finding help at faster-paced stations is a lot more difficult.
I mean, nobody really comes and, they don't really help you. It's just you have to go here.
And when commuting with a disability, survival is no sure thing. For News Wrap, this is Trevor Mason.